watching out. For you, this is NewsWatch 12 at 5.
Just before 5, and we're seeing some high elevation snow impacting travel in our region and water throughout much of southern Oregon and northern California. We're starting this evening with a live look up at Crater Lake's Visitor Center, looking like a winter wonderland, completely blanketed in snow right now.
And we have quite a bit of rain and snow working through the region. We're going to take a look at the Stormwatch 12 radar tonight. Snow in our higher elevations is making for some difficult travel conditions this evening. We want to thank you for joining us for NewsWatch 12 at 5. I'm Haley Gravitt.
And I'm Tim Quidadamo. Let's get the latest on some road conditions and when we can expect the rain and snow to wrap up in our region. We're checking in with Stormwatch 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman with the latest details. Matt, you've been tracking this storm all week long. It's finally here and it's having an impact.
Yeah, definitely much more in the way of precipitation today than what we saw yesterday on Halloween. Take a live look. We're seeing the kind of the tail end of this though towards Gold Beach. Some sunshine breaking through, but we still have some pretty soggy and in some spots snowy weather. Temperatures awfully chilly out there as well. Take a look at our Cascade passes. The biggest issues right now in the Diamond Lake area, snow-covered roads through stretches of Oregon 138, 230, also Highway 62, 140, just wet roads right now through Lake of the Woods. And then check out the east side, Highway 97, also seeing some issues with snowy right now roads, and you can see a bit of a slowdown up towards Chemult along 97 because of these winter driving conditions. But snow levels are rising, so there will be some improvements along 97 as we head into this evening, but we're still going to need to be watching out for snowy and slick roads overnight tonight. We should see the coverage of precipitation gradually wind down through the overnight hours, but if you are heading to the Big Black and Blue Bowl, South Medford taking on North Medford this evening at 7 o'clock, upper 40s, still going to see some showers possible throughout the game. We'll take a look at your weekend forecast in detail coming up.
Matt, thank you. On to a scam alert. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office is reporting an uptick in phone call scams. JCSO getting 20 to 30 reports a day of people receiving calls from scammers pretending to be sheriff's deputies. If you get a call from a Sergeant David Miller or Matt Hager, it's a scam. They might be saying you have a warrant, a missed jury summons, or be asking for payment. As a reminder, JCSO will never call you for any of those reasons. Typically, they will only call you if you're in an active investigation. If you're concerned about a call you've gotten, you can call the sheriff's office at the number on your screen to check.
Switching to a traffic alert tonight, a 10-mile section of Highway 138 is closed. Milepost 83 through 93 are closed, and ODOT is reporting the road is blocked by disabled cars not using chains. ODOT says to use an alternate route or postpone your travel if you can. Looking at Klamath County tonight, funding from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife will be going towards the largest freshwater wetland restoration project in the western U.S. with the northern arm of Upper Klamath Lake.
The funding will provide a space for thousands of migrating birds as well as restore habitat to the endangered Clam and Cockatoo mullet species. NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker looked more into this funding and how it will be affecting communities in the Klamath Basin.
This project has been heavily supported by Ducks Unlimited and the Klamath Tribes, which, when you remember our recent reporting on the Klamath dams, the tribe said there's much more work to be done in the region. And they say this represents another critical step. As we previously reported, $46 million is coming to the Klamath Basin, with $13 million going to the reconnection of the wetlands at Agency Lake and the Barnes units. It will restore Clam and Cockatoo habitat that is essential to the Klamath Tribe's culture and way of life. And its goal is to provide long-term health to the Klamath Basin.
If we have one goal, which all Americans should be concerned about, is producing and keeping clean our cold, clean water. If we have that as an objective as a people, there isn't anything that we can't do to cooperate with one another because we all need that.
The funding will complete phases 2 and 3 of the project. The funding will support 24 restoration projects overall in the region. They aim to address some of the water-related challenges in Southern Oregon and Northern California. In studio, Rocky Walker, NewsWatch 12.
On to your voice, your vote tonight. You may need to be 35 to run for president, but for one election taking place in our state this month, you have to be 10.
The Secretary of State announced the candidates for Oregon's Kid Governor today, a very fun election, if you want to call it that, and each one of these candidates has their own platform that they're running on too. NewsWatch 12's Leave Column joins us live in studio. She's been tracking this year's candidates and their platforms.
Leave, once a kid governor is elected, what are their duties?
Well, Haley, Tim, it's nothing to sneeze at. Oregon's kid governor has some pretty big duties. They include writing for an official blog, meeting and speaking with students statewide, and sharing their issue with constituents. One candidate hoping she can bring awareness to climate change. Take a look.
The biggest contributors to climate change are coal, oil, and gas that are responsible for 75% of the global greenhouse gas emissions and nearly 90% of all carbon emissions. My plan is to act.
These kids are young, but that isn't stopping them from bringing some pretty big ideas to the table. Coming up on NewsWatch 12 at 6, we'll hear from some candidates about one of the most pressing issues across Oregon, housing and homelessness. Live in studio, Leave Column, NewsWatch 12.
And NewsWatch 12 is partnering with Ray's Food Place to stuff the truck again this holiday season. We're aiming to fill an entire semi-truck with food to give to families in need. Our goal is to donate 5,500 bags of groceries, but we can't do it alone. To help out in our mission, all you have to do is visit any Ray's Food Place and buy a pre-packaged bag of groceries that you'll see at checkout. We'll take care of the rest for you. You can also make a donation online at kdrv.com.
In Siskiyou County tomorrow, there's a free green waste drop-off day in Yreka. Siskiyou County residents can drop off their waste at the Yreka Public Works Yard anytime from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow. They will take wood debris, tree branches, stumps, and grass.
And looking at the fire watch tonight, the wet weather has prompted a decrease in restrictions for industrial slash burning in Jackson and Josephine counties. These restrictions are specifically for industrial use and are separate from general public debris burning regulations. They'll go into effect tomorrow at 9 a.m. And we're moving to our local sports coverage tonight. The last week of the regular season has arrived. Time flies when you're having fun.
Time flies during football season every year. NewsWatch 12 Sports. Peyton Manny is going out with a bang tonight. She is at Spiegelberg Stadium for the final game of the week, featuring crosstown rivals at the Black and Blue Bowl. And Peyton is there to give us a preview of this matchup. Peyton, what can we expect from this game tonight?
Haley, Tim, that's a great question. We are in for a treat tonight as the 39th edition of the Black and Blue Bowl makes its way to Spiegelberg this season. This is the last game of the regular season, so tonight's outcome could very much impact playoff implications. However, North Medford head coach Nathan Chin says his guys aren't worried about anything else but tonight's game.
Focus on this week, and that's, when it becomes the rivalry week, you got to enjoy the week, all the festivities that go into it, the crosstown piece, all the things that go into that game, and then even though it's the end of the regular season and we don't know what's going to happen next week, the kids, we have definitely focused on this week.
1 week at a time, one game at a time. That's how North Medford is looking at this week's game, and we'll see how this one plays out tonight. I'll have another preview before our game starts coming up tonight at 6 p.m., so be sure to join me then. For now, live at Spiegelberg Stadium, Peyton Manny, NewsWatch 12 Sports.
Peyton, thank you. And today's November 1st. Halloween may be over, but some people take today to start celebrating another holiday already. I'm talking about Christmas.
Yes, it's been a big debate here at NewsWatch 12. Is November 1st too early to start spreading Christmas cheer? We asked all of you online, and here's what we found. The poll is looking like most people are saying yes. November 1st is too early. Tim, do you think it's too early to start celebrating today?
I would say yes, it is too early to start celebrating. But if you want to get your voice heard in this poll, head to kdrv.com to vote.
And coming up, a crash on the Beltline in Eugene causing big problems for residents. Find out why responders are saying this morning's crash is unique.
But first, here's a live wet look out at Medford from the Compass Hotel. Watching out for you, this is NewsWatch 12 at 5.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
Paramedic, retired teacher, psychiatrist.
The next super champion could be anyone. It could be you.
That's amazing.
On Jeopardy! Weeknights at 7 p.m. on NewsWatch 12.
Over 100 years uniting Americans, ensuring that every vote counts, so more voices are heard. That's why we support Measure 117. It gives voters the option to rank candidates in order of preference. Study after study in state after state confirms it's effective. 117 simply allows you to vote for who you want, how you want. That's why the League of Women Voters of Oregon urges a yes on 117.
I'm Dan Rayfield. I've had jobs that prepared me to be Attorney General, trial attorney, Speaker of the Oregon House, and Disney Jungle Cruise skipper. Okay, maybe not that one. As Speaker, I work to improve schools and access to health care, and I partner with law enforcement to get hard drugs off our streets. It's why Oregon's frontline police are supporting me. As Attorney General, I'll protect consumers from fraud, defend women from national attacks on abortion rights, and I'll always work to keep Oregonians safe.
Democrat for Attorney General, paid for by friends of Dan Rayfield.
You won't find him shouting on TV or ranting online. Tobias Reed's a little old-fashioned that way. He listens, puts his head down, does the work, and we've seen the results. Funding full-day kindergarten, protecting the retirements of Oregon seniors, and preserving the Elliott State Forest. As Secretary of State, he'll hold government agencies accountable to get results and give all Oregonians confidence in their electoral system. Tobias Reed for Secretary of State. Paid for by Friends of Tobias Reed.
Here are the stars of our show.
I am your host, Ryan Seacrest.
The Wheel You Love is back.
Yes!
There it is.
Yeah, baby. Let's have some fun.
Weeknights at 7:30 p.m. on NewsWatch 12. Watching out for you. This is NewsWatch 12 at 5.
In a traffic alert, a serious wreck on the Beltline in Eugene, bringing traffic to a screeching halt. Only this time, the gridlock lasted for hours.
Yeah, that wreck this morning sent one person to the hospital with injuries. Madison Yeesh explains what made the wreck and response different.
You drive on the Beltline, you know it is the scene of frequent crashes. It was built in the 1960s, and it wasn't designed to withstand today's traffic. Community members say they are fed up with the delays and lack of safety.
Around 9 this morning, a crash between a Graham landscaping truck with a utility trailer and a dump truck slowed traffic on Beltline for more than 3 hours as crews cleaned up debris on the road and damage to the bridge's guardrail. But today's crash is just a small part of a much larger issue. Beltline Highway has seen more than 100 crashes almost every year since 2018. According to ODOT, in 2022, there were 121 accidents, including one with a fatality and 14 with serious injuries. And with roughly 17,000 drivers on Beltline every day, it's one of Eugene's most congested roadways. After today's crash, many local drivers took to social media to share their frustrations with the ongoing issue, calling Beltline the, quote, worst stretch of road in Oregon, and saying the road is slippery. Some even said that they would willingly pay more taxes to see the road improved. And there are a lot of concerns with the road being extremely dangerous due to it being over capacity.